What is up, home workout and bodyweight exercise fans? In today's video, we'll be talking about bodyweight exercise based periodization and programming. So what I mean by that, well, basically how someone should structure his bodyweight exercise based workout plans in the long run in order to get optimal results. Now, there isn't a lot of information when it comes to bodyweight exercise-based programs, but I've done a lot of research, a lot of personal experimentation the last years. I've been studying a lot of weight training principles, and basically strength is strength. Basic principles apply. There are some details that change, but I came up with this pyramid, or the 3 layers of strength, as I call them. You can see them over here. Now, as you can see, there are 3 layers, and each layer represents 1 year. So starting with layer number 1 in the bottom of the pyramid, you can see from month 0 till month 6, I focus on basic technique and strength. What I mean by that, I consider it essential for a newbie, someone who just got started, to focus on getting technique perfect in the beginning. Because if you learn technique the wrong way in the beginning, it's gonna take you triple or even more time and effort to unlearn it and relearn it the right way. So technique is essential, and of course you'll also be working on strength. So basic strength exercises that give you the best bang for your buck. What I mean, exercises that are not a waste of time, that have a decent amount of intensity. And of course everybody needs progressions and variations for this. That's why I've made a tutorial up here. You can see there's a list of videos if you click on that link. But in summary, from month 0 till month 6, take your time with exercises, learn them right, and avoid doing any kind of circuit training. I see a lot of personal trainers doing boot camps at parks, having newbies and making them do like a ton of exercises, rushing from one exercise to the other, using really bad technique. No, don't do that. I want you to, if you're a beginner, I want you to focus on doing one exercise at a time, about 3 sets. I have a beginner's guide, I'll also link that above, and focus on the technique. Do a set, rest, and repeat. Make sure that you're doing everything right. Have someone to help you, or record yourself, take a video and look at yourself. What mistakes, what are you doing that can be improved. But don't just rush into extreme stuff. That's only going to lead to potential injury in the future, long-term injuries, inflammation, connective tissue and joint problems. So that was a quick summary of month 0 till month 6. Let's move on from month 6 till month 12. As you can see, I add metabolic stress. So metabolic stress is basically workout plans that help you get that burning feeling in the muscles. For example, supersets, doing one exercise after the other, or long repetitions, although we won't be focusing on that yet a lot. So at this point, I add some supersets, I add some rest pause sets, and I do this, not that it's that essential yet, but I know that people get pretty easy bored, and it's a good way to spice things up, and you're gonna get also an extra muscle pump, so maybe you get even a little bit more results. So what I mean here is that you'll be still working on technique, and you'll be still working on your strength, but on top of that you also add the metabolic stress. Moving on, layer number 2. So this is year number 2. And at this point, I recommend that you start working on mind to muscle technique, assuming that you've perfected your basic technique with all the exercise you are performing. Mind to muscle is a game changer. And if you're doing bodyweight based exercises, it's essential for you to keep on progressing, to avoid plateaus, to keep on gaining muscle. My second year, I wasn't doing mind to muscle techniques. I started doing these on the 3rd year. and I saw how fast my body changed. If only I knew this to do them earlier. So I have another playlist of videos with mind to muscle techniques. Basically, start with push-ups. I have a video on how to apply that on push-ups, which is like a really simple exercise, and then you can start applying those techniques to other exercises. I have tutorials for those as well. So mind to muscle, extremely important. What's interesting is that more scientific studies are working on this, which is a pretty new thing in scientific exercise training, and they are showing really positive signs. Once you're done with month 18th, basically around the middle of your second year, this is a part where you can also start adding circuits. What are circuits? Basically, a circuit is when you're doing one exercise after the other without any break, and you do a round of, let's say, 6 exercises and you repeat. This is what I did this year a lot, this summer especially. And the benefit of circuits is that it's a good way to kick your metabolic stress up a notch. Supersets, pretty good. Rest pause sets are also pretty good, but circuits will just give you that extra peak in terms of that burning feeling, and it also increases your cardiovascular ability, so you're getting also some more your heartbeat more elevated. And at this point, if you've been doing everything else great, like your diet is perfect, you're training, you're gaining strength and all of that, it might also help a little bit with some stubborn fat that you've been carrying around and you can't seem to get rid of. Layer number 3, so year number 3 up here, is weighted work. So this year I'll be adding some extra weight on my workouts. I got a weighted vest a few days ago. I already trained with it yesterday. I'm feeling the soreness and all that, so it seems to be working pretty good. The reason I add weighted work on year number 3, well, there are a couple of reasons. Number 1 is that I saw that mind to muscle generates awesome results, but it also hits a plateau at some point. Not that you should stop working on your mind to muscle techniques, but I've seen that after a year of practicing them, things were starting to get a bit slow, and that's how your body works, right? I mean, your body is programmed to adapt. So combining weighted work with mind to muscle techniques is something I'll be doing this year, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to create amazing results. So that's one of the things I'll be experimenting with this year, and we'll see how it works. A lot of people rush into using weighted stuff from the very early beginning. Like, again, I'm against this. There's so much more stuff you should work in the beginning. Your technique, mind to muscle technique, and just mastering basic bodyweight exercises. It's a thing that takes a lot of time. So don't try to add a vest on you just to feel cooler when you're training, just to challenge yourself too much. You don't need that, especially in the first year, not even the second year. But if you've been training for 2 years, really structured, really focusing on what we've mentioned till now, the third year is a good point where you can also start adding some weighted workouts and combining these with mind to muscle techniques, with circuits. So that's what I'll be doing this year. This is like a quick overview of what I have in mind. Basically, I'll be doing 2 mind to muscle techniques per week, 2 weighted workouts per week, and another 1 to 2 circuits per week. So this is something that I'm gonna build up. I'm not gonna start like all at once doing, but I'm gonna build it up. I'm gonna have a peak around Christmas. I like having peaks around Christmas, like training really hard, because there's so much food around, and it doesn't matter if you're eating a lot at that point. Your body is so challenged. Like yesterday, last year with the superhero home workout was the same thing. I was training so hard that no matter what I ate, like 90% of it went to muscle gain. So that's my plan for this year. Let me know what you think. I'll be sharing more about this as time goes by and I start experimenting on these things. Until next time, keep on training.